guys, it's Reagan, and today I'm here with my November TBR, and this video is being sponsored in part by Disney Book Group. Now for the month of December, per usual, I might be a little overambitious, but I honestly have all the faith in myself. We are officially coming up on the holiday season, which means a few extra days off for me from corporate America, and also some plane rides I will be taking near the end of the month. But anyway, without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right into the video. The first two books I'm going to quickly mention are books that I am currently reading. First one, of course, being Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I am actually really excited to read or continue to read this book. I'm about 50 pages in as I am filming this video, but I've heard really great things about this. Some people even said it's better than Tower of Dawn, which I'm not sure how is possible. Tower of Dawn is my favorite Sarah J. Maas book of all time, so hearing something like that makes me very intrigued and very excited to see how this book is going to conclude and how this series is going to wrap up. Just shy of 1,000 pages. I'm excited. I am not daunted by a long fantasy book. Brandon Sanderson has prepared me for this moment, so definitely really pumped to see how this ends. Next, I'm currently reading Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zusak. I am about 150 pages of the way through this as it stands. A book that I'm pretty sure is gonna make me cry, just thinking about Marcus Zusak's other books, but this is a novel that follows a family. It's a tale that's actually written and told by the oldest brother, but it follows a family of 5 brothers that live together and kind of experience all sorts of different things. It's definitely a uniquely written novel. It took me a little bit to get into it, but once I did, I'm finding the characters not only charming and the writing very unique, but it really like compels you into the story. Again, scared about how emotional this might make me, but whew, things are really starting to pick up in this. It's really good so far, so excited to finish this month. We have a book that honestly just sounds hilarious, amazing, and intriguing, like all in one, and that is Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is said to be a combination of Gilmore Girls and Pretty Little Liars, but like set in the South. All of those are very much buzzwords for me, especially Gilmore Girls with like a Southern debutante setting. I love as a girl who grew up in the South. It's just something that I have like a soft spot to. This follows our main character, Sawyer Teft, who is an auto mechanic, and she could probably say with certainty that the last thing she expected was for her estranged grandmother to show up on her doorstep of her apartment one day, offer her a 6-figure salary contract if she agrees to participate in debutante season. We have auto mechanic girl is bribed into becoming a debutante. She agrees not only for the large salary that it would entail, but also she realizes by immersing herself in the world of her grandmother, she might begin to uncover one of the biggest mysteries of her life: who her father is. When she realizes this, she signs on the dotted lines and says, yes, let's do this. As she begins her stint as a debutante, she realizes not only that she's able to make friends, but there are a lot of mysteries and a lot of skeletons in a lot of these prestigious families' closet, and she gets wrapped into quite the spindly and turny mystery. I am really excited about this book. I just love that this is like a comedic thriller. I just feel like it'll be full of witty banter and like unexpected humor, but also has like a thriller element that will propel you through the pages. Anyway, very excited for this book. It comes out November 8th. Definitely check it out if you're also interested. Next, I have Shadow of Self by Brandon Sanderson. Again, I've been on a roll with reading Sanderson books, so I thought it only made sense to pick up the next book in the Mistborn world. I believe this is actually the first book to the trilogy, the second trilogy of trilogies, but honestly, I'm not even sure, and I don't even really know what this is about, but I think it's about, oh. So this does follow Wax and Wayne from the first book, but that book doesn't count. This is confusing. But I believe they're going after like an assassin. There was quite the big cliffhanger at the end of Alloy of Law, so I'm really excited to encounter Wax and Wayne again. I really loved them as characters. They were hilarious, so we'll just have to see. Maybe I'll have answers after I read this book. The next book on my list is Until the Last Star Fades by Jacqueline Middleton, which I'm super excited to read. I'm a big fan of her previous books, and this is her newest release that is actually a standalone. This is a contemporary romance novel that but also has elements of a mother-daughter parallel story woven in as well, but this follows our main character, Riley Hope, who is a senior at NY. She appears to have it all: a loving mother, great friends, a great boyfriend, but behind the mask and behind behind her smile. She's racked with fears and indecision about her future. She struggles to stay afloat in life amid living in the shadows of a heartbreaking illness as well. And then Ben comes crashing into her life. He is a struggling actor from the UK. He's basically trying to escape from it all via mischief and partying, form a really unlikely bond that basically turns both of the worlds upside down. I am really excited to read this. I really enjoy Jacqueline Middleton's writing. I love her romances. I also think she deals with a lot of darker topics within her books as well, which I'm sure this will face. Definitely excited to pick this book up this month and share my thoughts at the end. Next on my list is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I don't know, I was just looking at my bookshelf and this book really like spoke to me. This is a book that I actually picked up in Paris from the Shakespeare Company bookstore. Cannot speak today. But this is a really dark, whimsical, and like funny fantasy novel. Basically, the end of the world was supposed to happen, but the Antichrist never showed up. I just think I'm in like the perfect mood to read this book. It just sounds really funny and really clever, and I really like Neil Gaiman's writing, and I've been wanting to read Terry Pratchett, whom I've never actually read before, so I don't know, I just feel like it feels like time to finally read this very, very famous novel. And I just like, honestly, just reading like the first line of the synopsis just makes me want to read it. It wasn't a dark and stormy night. It should have been, but that's the weather for you. Like, it just sounds so quirky, I don't know. And the very last book on my list is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I read Vicious last month, loved it. It was a reread for me in preparation for being able to read Vengeful. So here we are, and this is a sequel that I'm very curious about and that I'm not quite sure like who it follows. Like, I'm sure it features some of my fave characters from the first novel, but I think it also introduces new characters. I am being super vague because I don't actually want to know what this book is about, so I have not read the synopsis, I have not watched any reviews, I have avoided anything about this book like the plague, but I'm sure this will have like all the X-Men vibes, but darker, and I just can't wait to read it. Alrighty guys, those are all of the books I hope to read this November. Let me know down below some books you really hope to get to this month, as I would love to know, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye!